Hi there, welcome to BlackEarth Meats. I'm Bartlett Duran, the owner. We are a USDA certified facility. We have a number of certifications including certified organic. We're animal welfare approved, which means we have animal husbandry and humane handling certifications to ensure that the last day of these animals' lives is as peaceful as possible. And we're an old style country meat locker that's focused our efforts on the local and organic foods. So all of our meats come from this area here in southern Wisconsin. Let's go inside and see what we got going on. Okay, so here we are at the back loading dock. It's not going to look like much to you, but this entire area was redesigned under the principles of Temple Grandin, who's one of the leading animal welfare proponents out there. And before anyone can unload, they have to check in at the front. We have to make sure they're certified to unload under our humane handling protocols. So one of our employees will be here with them, and they have to have some sort of training. Often our farmers themselves will do the unloading. And now we're going to walk up and we'll see where they go. Okay, so here we are inside the holding pens. We just came up the ramp. This is a fairly gentle left turn for the animals. Again, we're trying to keep it as gentle and low stress as possible for them. And you'll see there is a fairly confined space for them to turn around in. This makes it difficult for them to do a 180, but keeps them nicely confined and safe and comfortable. We have space for the humans on the inside to move them along. But there's a nice gentle progression the whole way through. We use no shock rods, we don't use any kind of sharp objects, we don't raise our voices. Everything is designed for the animals to flow naturally to, again, keep that stress very low. From here, you'll see the animals then have a very natural progression. They're coming down the hallway, they come into this room, and there's a very gentle right turn into what's called the knock box. This is a veterinarian gate. This is not required, but this is exactly what veterinarians use when they're working on animals. And the head will pop through here, and that locks them in place to reduce their movement. That ensures a clean kill when it's time to do the stunning. We have a USDA inspector standing by here at all times. We have to have 100 out of 100 kills. So we're absolutely having a quick, painless death for this animal. And then we go through the disassembly line, if you will. The animals will get raised all the way to the ceiling by this hoist, and they get taken through the system where we start taking out the meat. Again, we have a USDA inspector standing by at all times, making sure that the animals are treated properly. Every animal is inspected before death to make sure it's healthy while alive. And then the head and the entrails are all inspected to make sure there are no diseases that have gotten on the inside. If we're dealing with organic animals, we have a separate day for them to come through, and each one is individually tagged with the farmer, the source, and the fact that they're organic and they're treated a little bit more carefully that way to maintain that identity of the finished product all the way back down to the farm. The next final stage we have here, this is the saw. Looks like something out of a video game. This literally saws the animal in half. So we take the hide off, we saw the animal in half, and that's where we get sides and beef. You'll see what those look like in a moment. That is the first real step of getting to the finished product. Then over here we have what's called the zero tolerance final check. So the carcass will come along, it gets weighed on a scale that's federally certified, and we do a wash down. So the entire animal, the entire carcass gets washed with 180 degree water. So it's a form of pasteurization to make sure there's no fecal matter, there's no contaminant of any sort on the outside of the animal. This is the second or third intervention we've had at this point to make sure there's no form of E. coli or no other pathogen that's going to get through. From here, once we check this out, and again, once we have the federal inspector standing by and verifying, go into what's called the drip cooler. This is the first of 2 stages of aging. So you can see this is a half of a beef. And then there's another half of a beef. So this is the first actual part of the disassembly of the finished product. There are certain customers we have that will actually ask for half a beef. Most of them want it then cut into what's called the primal. This is what half a beef looks like. We separate out the liver and the kidneys. Very high demand for those products right now. From this stage, they will go after a day or two when they get down to a core temperature. We then move over to the aging cooler where they can hang for 5 days to 21 days, depending on what the customer requests. One of the additional steps we use for just maintaining cleanliness and sanitation, we have an ozone machine that not only is used for air purification, but actively will kill not only insects and bugs, but all pathogens, E. coli, salmonella, listeria. And so once a week we'll sterilize a lot of the different parts of this the plant in a cycle, and that just helps keep the sanitation in check. Just make sure everything is as close to sterile as we can make it, and make sure the food going out the door is as safe as possible. This is now the main processing room. Everyone's on break right now. But we have 2 saws that we run, we have 2 grinders. So what happens is that half a beef that we saw on the other side, drop down this crazy contraption you see here, and that's where the primal, those are the initial 6 chunks of beef that come out. I grew up with a little chart of a cow on the wall of my kitchen that showed the big primals. This is the rib, and the chunk, and the round. And from that, we'll then take it and cut it into individual subprimals, which would be the ribeye, the loin, and then into individual steaks, which is the tenderloin, the New York strip, the ribeye steak. And so we start processing down further. That all takes place in this room. About 16 employees working. It's still very much manual, hands-on job. There are people who have machines trying to shortchange some of the work, but we found having trained professional workers with their eye on every product works extremely well. I have extremely good employees. I'm very proud of them. So one of the primary form of packaging we use is called cryovac. It's a very simple system where you put the meat into a bag, an open slot. This is a 4mm plastic bag. Put it on what's called a seal bar. You drop across. What's happened is that bag then gets sealed on one end after all the air is sucked out. So you get a tight wrap around the bag. So you have a vacuum holding the meat in, and then it is completely sealed. We'll see the finished product in just a second. From here it goes one of 2 directions. For our fresh meat customers, it goes out into the shipping cooler, inventoried and sent out. For our internet customers and customers where we're shipping and our farmers, we have a blast freezer. This is minus 20 degrees in here. So we bring product in, and within an hour or 2 it'll be frozen rock solid. It's from here that we pull our inventory and can ship pretty much anywhere in the country with certain protections. Minus 20 isn't fun to play in. One of the things we wanted to do here is we put in this glass vestibule so any of our customers that want to come can see how the meat is treated as it comes through. We have a video camera that watches the slaughter that people can watch, and then they can watch the entire operation here. We are very much into transparency of what we're doing, where we get the animals from, how we treat them, how we do our entire processing. The meat industry has become a bit of a mystery, a bit of an anonymous product. We don't like that. Our entire role is to get away from the concept of food being a widget instead of being something precious that we focus on. And that's what this shop is about. So here we are. We're on the back of the retail case. Here's the finished product. This is a ground beef. You can see the cryovac. This is a bag. It's sealed tight. This is still fresh meat. but it could also be frozen. Frozen meat is probably the safest way to ship meat. It's stored fresh or frozen fresh, so it's extremely fresh. And then once you thaw it out, then you have days, if not weeks, before you have to eat it. It can obviously go in your freezer as well. Once frozen, it's good at least up to a year. So if you order more and you need to keep it in your freezer, it's not a problem. All of our products have a lot code on them that tells us exactly what day this was processed, and we can get this package of ground beef down to the exact animal and the exact farmer that it came from. We know everything about the meat that this package came from. For certain of our products, such as the sausages we do fresh sausages and pre-cooked. This is a summer sausage. We never use nitrates. What we do is we work with the sausage plant. We send them the organic, fresh trim. We have them make the sausages to specifications. They're a partner or sister shop to us, and then it's returned. So again, we have complete control the whole way through. For this summer sausage, again, I can trace the meat in this back to the actual farmers. We sell a variety of products, obviously the beef and the pork. We have chicken. This chicken comes off our personal farm, Otter Creek Organic Farm. We have other organic farms we work with. Our chickens are frozen because we bring them off pasture, which means they're only grown in the summertime and then frozen. So you won't find fresh chicken. You generally won't find chicken parts from us either. We do sell chicken brats, which are bratwurst sausages made out of chicken. We have a lot of people who like that a lot. Our pineapple brat is very popular. That's an organic pork made with pineapple. We have a traditional bratwurst, and then we have this. This is the ground pork and our breakfast sausage. Here we go. These are two of our favorite, our most popular items. This would, I call it the Jimmy Dean sausage, but it's organic pork with organic seasonings. It makes just a phenomenal breakfast sausage, or I actually have people use the Italian variety to make pizza, which is one of my son's favorite. So thanks for checking us out. Good luck, and hope to talk to you soon.